Early morning. YN sits at the kitchen table, staring at the phone photo from 7 years ago. Rain has stopped. The city is quiet. YN thinking, voice trembling. That photo, it's me, but I don't remember any of it. Her fingers hover over the screen. A flash of memory hits. A younger version of herself asleep. Someone standing in shadow and clear, just silhouette. Heart races. YN whispering to herself. 7 years. What happened to me? She shivers, standing up, pacing. The apartment suddenly feels too small, too familiar. YN thinking, anxious. He said I'd start remembering. But how? Phone buzzes. A message notification. Do you remember yet? No name, no number. YN freezes, heart pounding. YN muttering, uneasy. It can't be. Door creaks open. Taehyung steps inside silently, watching. He doesn't announce himself. Taehyung soft, calm, teasing. Found something. Interesting. YN jumping slightly defensive. You're still here. Why, you left. Taehyung stepping closer, measured, dominant. I said I'd be waiting. Memories like yours, they don't come back on their own. He leans on the counter casually, but his presence dominates the room. Rain has left streaks on the window behind him. His gaze pierces her. YN voice shaking, trying to mask fear, memories. What do you mean? Taehyung smirk, leaning closer, subtle menace. That photograph. It's not just a picture. It's a reminder. And you've been avoiding reminders for 7 years. YN tense, defensive. I don't understand. Taehyung slow, controlled, darkly. You will. Step by step, I'll guide you, or push you, until you remember. He moves to the kitchen table, sitting across from her. The envelope from yesterday lies beside her phone. He subtly nudges it closer. Taehyung dominant, intense. Memories aren't just in your head. They live in your reactions, your habits, your fears. YN swallowing hard, trembling. You're terrifying. Taehyung smiling, obsessive, leaning slightly forward. And yet, here you are, curious, afraid, thrilled, a flash. YN remembers a small detail, the smell of leather, the sound of rain hitting the floor in the room from the old photo. YN voice barely a whisper. That, I remember that smell. Taehyung soft, almost intimate, dominant. Yes, exactly. That's the start. He pauses, eyes dark, studying her reaction. Taehyung, every hesitation, every shiver. It tells me everything I need to know. YN conflicted, heart racing. Why are you doing this? Taehyung smiled dark, almost a growl. Because you're not just anyone, you belong to your memories. And I belong to you. Later that morning, YN is pacing, still staring at the old photo. She hears the faint click of the door. Taehyung is inside again, silent. YN startled, defensive. You're back. I told you to leave. Taehyung calm, near whisper, dominant. Leave. No, you're beginning to remember. That's fragile. And fragile things need guidance. He moves closer, slow, deliberate. Every step measured, controlled. Taehyung soft, teasing. 7 years. You think you forgot, but you didn't. You just buried it. YN shaking, trying to regain composure. I don't know what you mean. Taehyung leaning closer, voice low, dominating. You remember smells, sounds, small touches. Details you never thought mattered, but they matter to me. He picks up the envelope on the table, slowly slides it toward her. Taehyung obsessive, commanding. Every piece I leave. Every hint, it's for you, to guide you. Or to trap you, depending on how honest you are. YN trembling, conflicted, trap me, you can't do that. Taehyung smiled dark, intimate, leaning in. Oh, I already have. He circles her slowly, studying reactions like a predator. Taehyung soft, dangerous, that flicker of recognition. The slight pause in your step, that's what I need to see, in freezes. A flash hits her, a memory of a dark corridor, a voice whispering her name, and Taehyung's silhouette. Why breathless, whisper, I remember something. Taehyung's smile widening, leaning closer. Yes. Exactly. That's the start. Keep going. Don't fight it. He tilts his head, voice soft but full of control. Taehyung obsessive, intimate memories are like strings, and I hold the ends, pull too hard. And they unravel, ignore them, and they suffocate you. YN conflicted, heart racing. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Taehyung dominant, leaning even closer, almost whispering in her ear. Because you belong to the memories, and I belong to you. A pause. He lets the words sink in, letting tension, obsession, and dark romance fill the space. Taehyung soft, almost playful. You'll remember more. And when you do, you'll see why I never left. He steps back slightly, letting YN's mind race. Her hands shake as she clutches the photo. YN thinking, panicked, yet drawn to him. He's controlling everything. But why do I feel alive when he's near? Taehyung watching her, obsession clear, shadowed by the morning light through the window. He smiles darkly. Taehyung final line for part 2, low and dominant, keep the memory close. Or forget, but either way, I'm still here. YN sits frozen, heart racing. A new fragment of memory surfaces, laughter she doesn't remember. A hand she can't place, Taehyung's voice whispering her name. The obsession and fear intertwine. Afternoon, YN has moved to the living room, phone and envelope on the coffee table. Rain has stopped, but the city outside is gray. Taehyung sits on the couch opposite her, still observing. YN thinking, tense, He's here again. I can't stop looking at him. Taehyung soft, controlled, dominant. You're avoiding the envelope? That's disappointing. YN defensive, standing. I'm not ready to. I don't know what this is. Taehyung leaning forward, voice low, intense, ready. There's no ready with memories. They demand you, and you. You respond whether you want to or not. He rises slowly, approaching her, each step measured, deliberate. YN's pulse accelerates, Taehyung leaning close, almost whispering, that hesitation in your eyes. I can see it, every flicker of doubt, every flash of fear. It's deliciously honest. YN backing away slightly, conflicted. You can't just invade my mind like this. Taehyung smile dark. Obsession clear, voice low and dominating. Ew, I can. And I do. Every reaction, every shiver, every thought. I've been tracing them for 7 years, and now you're remembering. YN clutches her hands, trying to steady herself. A faint flash, a young voice calling her name, laughter, a dark hallway. YN breathless, whisper, I think I remember something. Taehyung smirk, leaning closer, almost smelling her hair. Good, that's exactly what I want. Not everything, just enough to see the fear, the curiosity. The obsession building inside you. He circles her slowly, like a predator assessing a prey. Every movement calculated, controlled. YN can feel the dominance radiating. Taehyung voice softer, yet commanding, almost intimate. Memories are slippery. Easy to hide, easy to ignore, but impossible to escape, and you. You've been running from them for too long. YN voice shaking, trying to be defiant. I'm not running, I don't. Taehyung interrupting, dominant, near whisper, you are. From me, from yourself, from the truth, and yet. You keep looking at me, that's fascinating. He stops in front of her, close enough that she can feel his presence in every breath. Taehyung soft, obsessive, almost cruel. Do you feel it? That tug inside, the memory clawing back. That little spark of fear, excitement, confusion. That's me. I am the memory. I am the fear. I am the obsession you never knew you had. YN breath catching, conflicted, whisper, I I don't know what I feel. Taehyung smiled dark, voice low, dominant. Exactly. That's why I'm here. To guide you, or to push you, until you know. He gestures to the envelope and the photo on the table. Taehyung obsession clear, commanding, open it, look, don't close your eyes. Don't flinch. This is a part of you, a part that I protected. And a part that I want you to claim again. YN hesitates, hand trembling. She picks up the photo. Her eyes widen, a fragment of memory floods back. The corridor from 7 years ago, someone calling her name, Taehyung's silhouette, YN shaking, whisper, that. That's me, I remember Taehyung leaning closer, voice low, almost intimate, dominant. Yes, that's the beginning. But there's more. Memories are like locks, and I hold all the keys. He circles her slowly again, stopping behind her. She can feel his presence, warm and controlling, dominating the small space. Taehyung softly, obsession in his tone. That spark in your chest, that fear, that thrill. That's not just a reaction, that's us. And you'll learn to recognize it and crave it. YN turning slightly, conflicted, heart racing. I can't. Taehyung voice low, intimate, dominant. Oh, but you can. You already do. You can't hide it from me. Not now, not ever. Pause. He leans very close, so close she can feel his breath. Taehyung whisper, obsessive. Remember me. Remember this, and remember the cage you're already in. You walked into it, willingly or not. He steps back slightly, letting her process. YN's mind races. Memories flicker faster now, laughter, whispers, shadows, a scream. And a hand reaching for her. She gasps. Taehyung final line for part 3, low and dark. This is only the beginning. And soon, you'll remember everything. YN sits frozen, heart pounding. The room feels smaller, tighter. Rain starts lightly outside. Another memory fragment, a face she can't place, a voice she can't forget. Late afternoon, YN sits on the couch, clutching the photo and envelope. Taehyung stands near the window, rain streaks reflecting off the glass, watching her silently. YN thinking, tense, whispering to herself, why do I feel like I'm not alone, even though I should be? Taehyung voice low, dominating, near whisper, alone. You've never been alone. Not really. Not when memories follow you. And not when I'm around. YN shivers involuntarily. Her pulse races. Taehyung circles her slowly, each step measured, like a predator playing with its prey. Taehyung obsessive, whispering near her ear. That little twitch. That breath, that hesitation, tells me you want it. Even if you don't admit it. YN voice trembling, trying to stay firm. I can't. Taehyung dominant, smirk, playful menace. You can. You will, because the cage is already closed. You walked into it, willingly or not. He stops behind her, placing a hand lightly on her shoulder. She freezes. The ear is thick, Taehyung soft, dangerous, obsession clear. You'll feel it. The pull, the tension, the thrill, that's the memory clawing back. And you'll beg me to let it out, eventually. YN shivering, conflicted, you're insane. Taehyung smiled dark, almost intimate, whispering, perhaps. Or precise, every fear, every reaction. Every heartbeat belongs to me. He steps in front of her, tilting her chin up with a finger lightly brushing her jaw. Taehyung intense, commanding, and soon, you'll remember everything. Every moment, every second you thought you'd forgotten. And I'll be the first face you see, the first voice you hear. YN breathless, heart racing, whispering, why are you doing this? Taehyung dominant, obsession clear, leaning closer, voice low and intimate. Because I can, because I must, because you are mine in ways you don't even understand yet. Pause. He steps back slightly, letting the tension suffocate her. In's hands tremble, gripping the envelope. Memories flicker again, a quarter. A whispered name, a scream, her own. Her chest tightens. Taehyung leaning casually against the couch, voice soft, dangerous. That's fear. And desire, and confusion, all mixed into one. And you'll feel it, fully, soon. YN turns toward him, conflicted, part fear, part fascination. YN voice shaky, whispering, I don't know. What I feel. Taehyung smile dark, leaning closer, breath near her ear. That's perfect. Confusion makes the memory stronger. Makes you stronger, and makes you notice me. He steps back slowly, letting the room feel empty, but the tension still presses on her. In's mind races, the memories and emotions colliding. Taehyung final line low, obsession heavy, dominant. Remember this. Remember me, because the next time your memory surfaces, it won't just be fragments, it will be everything. YN sits frozen, heart hammering. Rain begins again outside. The first full memory fragment begins to surface in her mind's shadowed face. Taehyung's voice whispering her name. A small hand reaching for hers. She gasps. Flash of memory. A quarter. She's running, Young In calling for help. Shadows closing it. A hand, Taehyung's, catches hers. A whisper, YN whispering, breathless. No, this is impossible. Suddenly, Taehyung steps forward from the shadows of the room. His presence is magnetic, oppressive, dominant.